Ciao tutti, state bene? Tutto a posto? Sì. Hi everybody, this is the first lesson of your week's course after Easter. So let's get cracking and I hope that you enjoy it. So today we're going to be looking at gli aggettivi. So remember, in Italian, adjectives, adjettivi are describing words. And in Italian, they fall into two groups, okay? The first group is your O group, okay? So, for example, if I take an adjective like brutto, which means ugly, this ending here is going to have to change depending upon what I describe. So, if I'm describing something masculine, brutto. If the noun I'm describing is feminine, brutta. If the following noun that I'm describing is a masculine plural, brutti. And then finally, if it's a feminine plural, brutte. So, for example, let's see how this works. If I was going to talk about il cane, the ugly dog would be il cane brutto. If I was going to talk about the ugly woman, la donna brutta. And it is a little bit like playing snap. So, for example, if it's masculine, it ends in an O. If it's feminine, it's got to end in an A. Okay? If I'm going to pluralise them, so the ugly dogs, it would be I cani brutti. Okay? And you know how I love my shoes, le scarpe? If I'm talking about ugly shoes, it's le scarpe brutte. Okay? So you've got an example here with your adjectives of a masculine singular, feminine singular, masculine plural, feminine plural. And that's with your O group of adjectives. If an adjective originally starts in an O, you must choose the correct ending depending upon whether it's masculine or feminine, singular or plural. Right, in Italian, the second group of adjectives end in an E. So I'll just remove all of this. Crikey, it's just like being in the classroom at Morpeth, eh? So, for example, if I choose this adjective, green, verde, that E ending will work for masculine, singular, feminine, singular. For the plurals, it will only work masculine, plural, feminine, plural. Okay? Right, so for example, if I'm going to talk about, I don't know, a tree. Un albero. It's masculine, it's singular, it's un albero verde. Okay? If I'm going to talk about, I don't know, something feminine, which is green, it could be a green skirt. So, una gonna verde. If I pluralise those things, so un albero, in the plural becomes li alberi verdi. Okay? And similarly, una gonna, a skirt, skirts, is le gonne verdi. Okay? Right. I'm going to give you some pictures of some famous Italians now who you will recognise, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an example of how you could possibly describe them. Just to start off, I've chosen famous male Italians because I'm going to start with the male rule of the adjectives. Okay, so just bear with us while I rub this off. Allora, here we've got Bruno Tognoli, okay, famous for Strictly. So if I'm going to choose adjectives to describe him, I might describe him as buffo, funny. I may also describe him as ricco, okay. I might also describe him as cialiero, chatty, okay, does talk a lot, okay. Then I'm going to replace my picture of Bruno with his comparative, which is, of course, Giovanni. In fact, I'll not replace it, I'll just add it. Okay, so this one you would say he is elegante. Okay, and he's also alto. Okay, so you've got all of these adjectives to describe these two men. Now, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to compare them. Okay, comparative adjectives. Now, a comparative adjective in English usually ends in an ER, such as taller, smaller, happier, that kind of thing. But in Italian, to sort of compare, you can't change the ending of an adjective. This is what you have to do. So, I'm going to, if you just copy those down for now, that would be great. So, buffo, ricco, cialiero, elegante, alto. So, funny, rich, chatty, elegant, tall. Okay, got those? You copied them? Va bene? When I compare them, I'm going to use di for comparing. So di, when you compare, doubles, because I'm going to be comparing two things. So, for example, Bruno è più buffo di Giovanni. So Bruno is funnier, or literally Bruno is more funny than Giovanni. But Giovanni è più alto di Bruno. Okay, so D for doubles because I'm comparing two things, obviously Bruno and Giovanni. Okay. However, Italians don't only compare things with D. They can also use the word che for comparisons, but the rule is slightly different. So watch what I'm going to do now. I'll give you a bit of time to copy that down if you want to. Okay, so you can pause the clip as well. Okay. Right, I'll just rub this off, and now I'm going to use che. But che is only for when you're comparing something within itself. Okay, so for example, hang on, Adam. My son's trying. This is the disadvantage of working from home. My little boy's braying on this door, but 2 minutes, please. What do we say? Un attimo, per favore. So, for example, what I've said is Bruno è più buffo che elegante. So, Bruno is more funny than he is elegant. I haven't used di because I'm not comparing him. I'm not comparing him to Giovanni. Lastly, another one just on their own. So I could say Giovanni è più Giovanni è più alto che grasso. So Giovanni is taller than he is fat. Okay, so it's like an internal comparison. So just to revise that, when you're comparing two things, it has to be D. D for doubles. If you're comparing just one thing within itself, it's K. Right, I will be emailing you all a PowerPoint, and you're going to have various pairs of famous Italians. Try and find out who these people are, okay, what they do for a living. And what I would like you to do is, with the pairs of famous Italians, do what I did. Choose the one on the left-hand side and write about 4 adjectives around it. The one on the right-hand side, do the same. Write 4 adjectives around it. And then I'd like you to do an example with D, when you compare the two celebrities, and then an example with K, when you make a comparison within itself. I hope that's clear. I have got plenty of examples on the PowerPoints for you. You know my email address, sharonramsey@northumberland.gov.uk, if you want to email me anything. And I've got some little homework tasks on there for you as well. Ok? So, ci vediamo fra poco, spero io, e forza! Andiamo! Ciao!